Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thursday night. This is Brandy with Brushed by Brandy, and I am a Dixieville Paint brand ambassador. And I wasn't live last week, so I feel kind of off this week. Last week was 4th of July. Happy 4th, everyone. I hope you guys had a good week. But I'm here tonight. We're going to do some painting, and I'm starting a brand new piece. My husband Sean is here, you guys, to answer any questions you have along the way tonight. But the piece we're going to be working on is this piece here. It's an empire style, and empire style is traditionally these curved feet, but otherwise very, very, very simple, clean lines on these. I love these pieces here. Love them. They're one of my favorite styles, I think. I have an empire style piece in my room, in my home. So what I'm planning with this piece is I see it in a mustard yellow. Mustard yellow. I'm going to make it mustard yellow. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about mixing colors tonight. So when I look at Kernel Mustard, this was a little too bright for me. And what I love about Dixieville is there's 64 colors in the line, plus all the metallics, plus the patinas. So if a color isn't exactly the right tip for you, you can mix these colors. So I'm going to kind of show you guys a little bit about my mixing process.
I just want to point out that you're going to have to mix it up. You're going to really have to get a little excited because...
Oh, nobody cares about
she's just hanging out.
So you guys are going to start seeing, this is Ginger. Here, Ginger.
She's super excited right now.
This is Ginger. Ginger is my new shop dog. She is the sweetest girl ever, you guys. I love her. I love her. She's just got the most calm personality. She's super smart. So I'm training her to be my shop dog. Basically, she's going to be out here with me all the time when I'm painting. And she's doing really good so far. So she has been out here a couple times with me now, and she just either lays in her bed or lays next to me while I paint, but she's really good company. So that's Ginger. You guys are going to start seeing Ginger. She's, what, 11 weeks old now?
11 weeks.
Yeah, she's 11 weeks old now. She's a purebred boxer. We love her. We love her. So back to what I was doing. I'm going to try to keep her out of the paint tonight, though. You want to smell? Yeah, she just wants to smell. Dixieville is safe to be around children and animals, you guys. It's no VOC.
Does it glow in the dark? Is it radioactive?
Yes,
okay.
It's awesome.
Just
so
checking.
I don't feel like I need to, protect her or anything while I'm out here painting. She can be right here with me. Okay, so what I usually do when I want to mix a color is I will just take a brush like this, and I use paper plates. And you guys have seen sometimes if people ask for color combinations, I do this. I mix them on a paper plate, and I will bring out like 5 colors, and I will just start mixing them in random combinations. Usually no more than 2 or 3 colors, because otherwise it starts getting a little confusing. And then I save these as little palettes that I have for when I want to mix a color later. So I've got quite a few here, it's kind of blushy pinks. These are a little bit more corally pinks, some teals. But what I want to mix tonight is mustards. So I will usually just take an artist brush like this. This is a very unexact process, but I think that what you're doing instead of trying to get the exact mixture is you're really just getting a feel for what putting one color tone into another does to the color. You want to see, okay, is this going to work? Is this going in the direction that I want it to? So the color I'm working with tonight is a 2-color combination. So I took my Kernel Mustard and I just put it on my plate. And then the other color I'm mixing in with it is collard greens. I usually just use the paint on the lid, and I'll just take a little tiny dab of the collard greens. It doesn't even have to be your exact mixture, and I will just mix it in together, and then I just start stirring them to see. Okay, that's a little dark, so I'll get a little bit more of my Kernel Mustard and stir that in. And now I know when I go to mix this on a larger scale that I'm looking at heavier Kernel Mustard and lighter on the collard greens. So that's kind of the direction I wanted to go in, was this like dirty old mustard color. Like a little bit more 70s mustard than like, French's mustard.
Now with doing this, do you worry about dabbing anything on the brush and then putting it in the good paint?
No, because honestly, you guys can see, I just dabbed the brush with yellow on it into the lid with collard greens. Do you see that little tiny yellow spot right there? That's the amount of contamination I just did.
I won't throw the finger in there.
Yeah, that's the amount of contamination I just did. But if I'm doing multiple colors, I'll keep a roll of paper towels out here and I'll just take it off my brush. I mean, it's still in the brush, but it's enough that I can go into another color now, and I'm not worried that it's gonna contaminate my entire jar. If I do, I mean, I'm dabbing it onto the top with barely any, so it's like the amount of contamination will be so minimal that I don't think it's enough to worry that you're gonna ruin your jar of paint. So that's kind of my mixing process, and then I go through and I will write on my plate what the mixes are. So tonight I've been out here mixing a couple colors because I have another piece I'm working on. So I mixed, this is the Dixie Belle Metallics, and this is Silver Bullet with Vintage Duck Egg. This is Wedding Bells with Vintage Duck Egg, and then I tried Silver Bullet with Peacock. So I got an idea that this is the color range I want, which is this little soft grayish silver color with a little bit of shimmer in it. It's really pretty. So I have another piece I'm doing in that color. So this will be a little example for next time I want to mix metallics. So the color we're working in tonight is a mix I just did, and it's got, get a little bit of that, shake it up a little bit. This is Colonel Mustard and collard greens, and it's just a little bit darker. I'm going to show you with pure Colonel Mustard next to it. It just made it a little bit darker, but that little bit of green in it too. So that's kind of the feel I wanted. Let me close these up and get them out of my way before I spill them.
What?
Yeah, you know, I've seen like 3 posts today of spilling paint, so I feel like it's in the stars today to spill some paint.
Oh goodness, Trish says she paused Outlander
Oh, yeah.
so she could watch her favorite artist.
Why are you pausing?
Well, hold on. And videographer. Just saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course.
Not so much you, but me.
Flattery gets you nowhere on this show,
Yeah,
you guys.
it gets you behind the camera.
Sean has no authority. He's not doing a giveaway or anything. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason you guys are nice.
Hold on, we have some paper towels we can give away.
Yeah. Paper towels for everyone. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys on this piece was, I'm going to say this, I've done hundreds of pieces, the worst bleeder I've ever had. I've already cleaned the outside of this.
Okay.
This piece was the worst bleeder I have ever had. So I want to show you guys a couple things about this. I knew it was going to be a bleeder right off the bat, but you see how dark this wood color is? That's your first cue. Your second one is how old this piece is. This is an older piece. This is old. It has no date markings on it, but I would guess early 1900s, maybe 1920s, and no more recent than that. It's an old piece. So right there, I know it's going to be a bleeder. So I cleaned the outside of this, but I saved the inside. I'm going to do this door on camera so you guys can see what it looks like when your piece is up. I mean, it's just, it's squirting blood everywhere. It's just, this is a massacre piece. It's a bleeder.
It's an ER nightmare.
Yeah, seriously. So this is my Dixie Belle White Lightning mixed into a spray bottle. White Lightning is a granulated cleaner, and I just mix it into a spray bottle. And then I'm going to spray my piece a little bit. Okay, that moisture is going to start pulling out the tannins in the wood. When I sprayed this, I sprayed the entire body, and I could see literally it started dripping like an orange color off of this wood. It was so strong. So I'm not even going to scrub at this, but you guys will see. Just wiping it. Okay, so then I came back and I put the cleaner on again, and I wiped it again, and it looked like this every single time. It's not going to stop wiping like that. That is a bleeder. This piece is not that dirty. No piece is this dirty. So you can keep cleaning it, and it's going to keep, that moisture keeps drawing the oils out of the wood. It's never going to stop. So that's what you are seeing when your clear coats start yellowing. Okay, I just wiped it again with a clean side of my paper towel. Same thing.
I feel like this is a magic trick.
No, it's disgusting. It's not gonna stop, guys. So I sealed the outside of this entire piece in Dixie Belle Boss, 2 coats, because I knew it's just gonna keep bleeding, even though my color isn't a pure white. So when I see people asking questions about a top coat that doesn't yellow, it's not the top coats that yellow. The reason you get yellowing over light colors is it's your piece bleeding through. Even if you don't think it's gonna bleed, always, always, always seal with Boss if you're even questioning that it might be a bleeder, or you're gonna paint it white. Or, you know, even, it doesn't have to be pure white. It could be buttercream or, you know, aged ivory or anything in that color range. You know, even your pinks and stuff can get dingy yellows in them from bleed through. So I just wanted to show you guys that because this piece was so bad with bleeding. So I'm just going to paint tonight. I just feel like painting.
All right, I guess.
My color combination I'm going to be using, so I have my mix of collard greens and kernel mustard. So I'm going to set my kernel mustard aside, but I am going to use pure collard greens a little bit, and I'm going to use aged ivory. This is from the Flea Market Decor line. Dixie Belle and Flea Market Decor magazine paired up and came out with a limited edition release of 6 colors. This is one of those 6 colors, and I'm going to use it tonight. So my 3 color combination, I like to blend with 3 colors. You guys should know this by now. My 3 color combination is this here: collard greens, aged ivory, and my mix of kernel mustard. So I'm just going to start laying on paint. If you guys have questions, let me know. This is where we should like turn on the music and I just get to paint. See, so my vision for this, actually let me show you guys. Is I pictured it being very, very, very simple, a really pretty blended finish, but I'm going to add a transfer on the front. And so I pulled out a whole bunch of transfers, and I was thinking just the plain black script. So something like this is one of the new Redesign with Prima transfers. Like this to me just suits the style of this piece. Whoops.
But only if you put it the right side up.
See, it's got the big medallion on there, so I think this would have been a good one. But the one that I liked the size of the best was this one here. And that's because I'm going to cut off the bottom piece of this. 3 pieces of, yeah, no, this one's only 2 pieces. So I'm only going to take, sorry, this is going to be hard for me to hold. This is the top piece. And then it starts into the floral. So on the next piece, I'm just going to cut this floral off right here and just do it in this section here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's just a very simple script transfer, like no color. It's just going to be the kernel mustard that brings color to this piece.
I just like to ask what it says on those.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. I've said it before, I took Spanish. So I love this color. It's not pure kernel mustard, it's just a little bit deeper. Let me push this drawer in. I am going to paint with my drawers in because I have you guys on camera tonight. I do always take my drawers out and paint around the edges and into the body of my piece. I'm going to paint my hinges on this one. I feel like for the age of this, in fact I know for the age of this, they've got already the existing finish over the hinges. They're not clean as it is. So I feel like for the age of this, this would be a piece you would not find clean hinges on. You know, if you go to the flea market and take a look at like vintage painted pieces, you'll notice they didn't used to take the hinges off and keep them clean. If, you know, Grandma's trying to preserve her pie safe with paint, she was going straight over those hinges. Sorry, Grandma.
So now there are other ways to go about it for being a bleeder. You know, keeping it from...
Clean your piece. Clean your piece. And then you gotta seal it. You have to encapsulate those oils into your piece. So Dixie Belle Boss is a stain and odor blocking primer. And it will seal those wood tannins so that they can't penetrate through into your paint. Chalk paint is porous.
So we got a lot of people saying that it's either freezing or they can't see but they can hear.
Oh.
But I want to check that for me?
Let me check my phone. Sorry guys, hang on one sec. Let me check on it. Yeah, it's on.
I already checked it, so.
Okay, my paint, it's really warm where I am today. Really warm. In fact, I have the air conditioner on. I wonder if the air conditioner could be affecting it. I'm gonna try that. My air conditioner actually runs, you can connect it to the Wi-Fi so I can control it from my phone.
Not everybody's having the problem. It's
Okay.
probably 50-50 split.
So now I'll just be hotter than heck, but at least you guys will, we'll see if that helps. So I just put on, this is my Colonel Mustard. I'm gonna do just a highlight in the center, and this is that aged ivory. But this could be aged ivory, could be Dixie Belle buttercream, could be drop cloth, because I'm not gonna leave the pure color anyways. So you'll see once I hit it with that highlight in the center, and put it on again. I brush it in a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to take it vertically, horizontally.
Susan says, turn your AC back on and be comfortable.
Yeah, it's freaking hot out here, guys.
I'm already busting a sweat.
Yeah, literally I am sweating it already. Let's see. Did it just come on? Yeah, there we go. It's coming on, guys. Sorry, I can't deal. It's too hot. It's July in California. Okay, so now I'm coming back with my brush from my Colonel Mustard, and I'm just cleaning up those edges a little bit. I don't even know if you guys can see this highlight on camera, and that's okay. It should be that subtle that you can't tell that I even did it.
So, sorry to interrupt you. So, you have a problem before you put paint on it. You know that it's going to bleed.
Yeah.
You put paint on it.
Yes.
It still bleeds. Do you have to strip it down, or can you coat the paint and then start
you can coat the paint
in layers?
And you can put another coat of paint on it. So another option, if it's just really a strong bleeder, is you can also put a coat of shellac, of clear shellac over the piece. And that will prevent it from bleeding through as well. So that's another option. But the main thing is there's nothing more disappointing than painting your piece. If you're just even not sure, is just put that coat on there. So now I'm coming back with my collard greens, and I'm going to darken these corners a little bit. I just kind of want them to look like, my paint's a little sticky, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. But I just want my corners and edges to look a little bit dirty, grungy. This is obviously going to take...
Oh,
what?
Joy has a good point.
What?
The problem could be the magnetic force of my personality.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No, that's not it. Nope, not even close. Pretty sure.
It's a pretty fair statement, I think. Very observant, Joy. Very observant.
You think Joy's an expert?
She's a genius.
Knows what she's talking about?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. So I just want my very edges to look a little dirty, a little aged. So I'm just going to brush in a little bit of that collard greens.
So after you hit it with white lightning, did you put anything on it?
Yeah, Dixie Belle Boss. This has 2 coats of Boss on it. Yeah, this was, it was obviously going to be a bleeder. It's got tons of Boss on it. So I'm going to need 2 coats on this, and I can tell right off the bat if I overwork the paint. Here, let's see if I can show you what happens. If I keep brushing this, do you see how I'm pulling the paint back? I'm overworking my paint. It's pulling my paint away from the piece. This is going to need 2 coats. Use a soft hand, keep your paint on there, and you can come back and perfect all this in your next coat. I'm just trying to get paint on right now for coverage.
What brushes are you using?
I'm using the Dixie Belle Mini to lay my paint on, and then I like the Dixie Belle Oval Medium for blending it out. But I like the Mini for laying paint on. It lays it on, it holds the perfect amount of paint, it lays it on super smooth. Really minimizes brush strokes. This is my favorite brush. It's really all I use. And I'm gonna tell you guys, so when I first started painting, if you guys have been following me for a while, I used the, oh gosh, what were the brushes I used to use? The Wooster Shortcut brushes. They were just a hardware store brush. I'd never owned an expensive brush before. I didn't know there was a difference, and I painted with Wooster Shortcut brushes. When Dixie Belle came out with their brushes, I got the opportunity to try them, and I had tried Klingon and a few other brands, and I never liked them. And this was the first nice quality brush that I actually liked. I know a lot of people are set on the Klingon brushes. For my style of painting, they're too firm. So I've got a ton of them, and they're like brand new. I just never used them. This brush suited my style. So
a couple things.
yes.
Let's touch base on water bottles.
Yes, my Mr. bottle. So you guys will notice I had my White Lightning mixed in a traditional spray bottle. This is just a regular spray bottle, and when you spray this, it comes out in a heavy stream. It's going to leave water droplets on your piece. So this is a continuous spray misting bottle. I have these in my Amazon shop. They're hairstylist misters, and they come out in a really super fine mist. And so it just spreads the water out evenly and doesn't leave water droplets on your piece.
Now back to paint. Is Dixie Belle easy to distress when it's dry?
Yes. So there are some brands out there that have a lot of acrylic in them. So when you go to distress them, they want to start peeling. Dixie Belle does not do that. If you go to distress this, it distresses just like it's a water-based chalk mineral paint. So it distresses beautifully. And that's a huge strength, because there are certain paints that don't do distress finishes as well, because they react differently when you distress them. You can just take regular sandpaper to this, either by hand or with your sander. So you guys will see, I'm brushing this on. I'm keeping my paint wet and moving. If it starts sticking, so it's starting to stick over here, I will just mist my entire surface. That's a little bit of water. It's a water-based paint, so it's water-friendly. And then I'm going to carry my brush strokes all the way across. I can go like this and brush it, you know, however I want, just to get the paint on all over the place. But then I always come back and clean that up. And I'm using a super soft hand because I don't want to pull that paint off. It's going over a dark wood. I'm already going to need a couple coats. So a very soft hand, a little bit of water. It gives you a really smooth finish every time. I'm going to pull this drawer out and show you guys what I do around the sides of the drawers. I sealed inside this piece as well, and as well as the drawer sides, because I plan to do something decorative on these drawer sides. But this part here, I'm going to hit this with a little bit of paint too. You don't want to neglect the details on your drawers. Get this side, and then I want to make sure that I'm getting this top edge too. Like if you open the drawer and it looks like this, that's disappointing. Anybody's just going to be disappointed by that. So I think I'm going to paper these drawer sides. So I mean, these are old drawers. They're, you know, they're dirty inside. I will probably paper the drawer bottoms as well, because I don't want to hand this off to somebody with a, you know, the inside's gross. You don't want to know.
Can't have dirty drawers.
Yes. That's Sean's advice for the day, guys. Don't have dirty drawers. There you go. Everything you need to learn about life.
My mom always said.
Comes from this hour of painting right here.
Life principles.
So that's a really pretty finished drawer. I got my sides. I can paper from this line down, and I've got a really clean, nice edge right there. And then on the inside here, I'm going to make sure I look for like the lines of delineation. So right here, this is a piece of wood. I'm going to just paint this whole piece of wood right here. So it makes sense that I would stop my paint line right there. And same thing with inside the drawer. This is
So what kind of paper are you thinking?
Oh, should I show you guys? You guys want to see some paper options? Hang on, I didn't bring them out, so hang on.
Can I just continue with my life
Okay.
advice?
No, you guys don't really need me.
Okay, good. I just laugh every time you use white lightning. That's what they called me in high school on the track.
You were the fastest water boy in town?
Yes. Okay, your narrating time is done after that comment.
Ooh, this one could be pretty too. Sorry, don't send me over to my paper stash, guys. I really like papers. I really like them. So these are a couple options. I have a mental inventory of what papers I have. Actually, I'm going to show you guys that last.
Oh, Susan, you don't want me to keep going.
With his high school story,
Yeah,
I knew Sean
we need to do PG.
I knew Sean in high school. Nothing he's telling you is true.
That's why it's funny. It's relatable.
Okay, so I think this one could be cute. Now, imagine that this is going to be all mustard, but it's going to have that black script transfer on the front. This will be inside the drawers, and then inside those cabinet doors too.
How long do you wait to sand the paint?
I usually wait overnight each step. So I'll let my paint dry overnight, come back, give it a fine sanding, put my second coat on, let that dry overnight, come back, give it a fine sanding, put my clear coat on. So I usually do one step each day. That's my process. You don't have to wait overnight. The way you can tell if your paint is dry, you could put a heat gun on this or a hair dryer. It's dry to the touch, but it's cool to the touch too. That coolness is moisture in the paint that's evaporating. So if you feel your paint and it still feels a little bit cool, it's not all the way dry. I know this isn't dry because I just put it on, but that's a great way to tell is if you still feel coolness in your paint. I could give this a couple hours and come back and do the next step. But I generally don't. I just plan on one step a day. That's my process. So I think this would be cute. This is a lemon paper. It's kind of retro. My grandma had, I remember their kitchen, like huge floral, bright yellow and pink and orange flowers on their kitchen wall. Like, why did we get away from that? Not that anybody needs like a fluorescent pink and orange yellow flower kitchen, but how bold is that, you know?
Why did we get rid of olive colored refrigerators and appliances?
I just want, like, my point there is, why do we get so far away from color? Like, I remember to this day my grandma's kitchen having that bold wallpaper in it. So I don't know. I think, like, if you're gonna have statement pieces in your house, make them memorable. Nobody wants to see gray furniture everywhere. This I think could be another cute option. This is a little bit more traditional, but everything I pulled out still has the mustard colors in it. So this would be really, really pretty.
So where'd you get all this paper?
Spoonflower.com. Spoonflower has my favorite papers. This is their satin finish gift wrap. They've got thousands of paper options. It's about $15 a roll. But it is a beautiful weight for decoupage. They have so many different patterns. And I've tried other brands like Zazzle. I like the tissue papers from like Recycled. I love her tissue papers, but their gift wrap, the inks on it run when you put clear coat over it.
So what kind of paper is this if people go looking?
Satin finish gift wrap from spoonflower.com. Spoon like a spoon and flower. Spoonflower. Because I get that question a lot. Where am I ordering papers from? This one takes it more in the blues, but it's still a very classic tapestry pattern. I usually pick papers that have good colors in them that I would want to pull out in a piece. So this would be pretty with like vintage duck egg. But the one I kind of had in my head, let me show you this one. This one's a little bit more modern geometric.
Nancy said their website confused her.
Oh,
is it pretty crazy?
It's hard to search. Their search function doesn't work very well. It's really easy to just scroll and scroll and scroll and
scroll some more.
And scroll some more. Yeah, their search function, you can search like one word searches like green, but it's going to bring up 50,000 options of green. So I just make sure I'm searching gift wrap. And I've started a list of just favorites because I've spent so much time on there. So this again pulls out the mustards. It's got the blues in it. So I could also pull in on my drawer sides or something like vintage duck egg. This looks like Bunker Hill blue, really pretty colors. These are great places to get started if you're not sure what direction to go with your piece, is to pull inspiration from a pretty paper or drawer liner or your transfer. I try to pick those things first versus coming back and trying to match them after. So I will start with, okay, I want to use this paper. Now what colors do I pull out of it? So I really liked this one. But now that I'm looking at some of those other ones, I'm not sure. So I'm going to look back after this and see what you guys think.
The lemon one?
The lemon one? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought, I'm second guessing on this one.
Which one was the first one?
This is the one I'm kind of liking for this. So, what was the first one? The first one was the lemons. I don't know. In my head, I had thought this, but now that I'm looking at it, I think that black one would be really cute. I'm surprised the lemons. The lemons were. It's because you guys liked my grandma's kitchen, huh? No, but it does. That reminds me of like a vintage kitchen pattern. So I don't know. Maybe I'll surprise you guys. I don't really know for sure what I'm gonna pick yet. So I'm getting the insides of my drawers. My brush is a little too long. My wood grain runs this way, but my brush is a little too long to get in there like that. I'm gonna add some water so my paint glides a little smoother. So when I wax, I will wax all inside this. These glides back here get waxed. You can just use Dixie Belle Clear Wax. They're new. Big Mama's Butter, which I read.
Oh yeah.
One of the Dixie Belle retailers posted today. Everything's better with butter. Like, that's like the perfect saying for the butter. And then I'm gonna get underneath here. I've already stripped this top down to the wood. It's super flawed. I could see this piece being a kitchen island.
Trisha's she's trying to convey something, but I really don't understand what she's saying. I'm just kidding. She's really going crazy on the lemon.
The lemons? All right, I'll take a look at the lemons again just for you, Trisha. I'm not sure though. I don't know. I think because I feel like, what would be the vibe I'm getting from this piece? I'm getting like a.
Or the one that's got the black in it.
Yeah, I like the black too. That's kind of the one I'm going back and forth with.
Those are really the bigger two.
Okay, I'm with you on the black, and I like the black because I know my transfer's got black in it. Oh, you didn't tell me I missed some spots over here.
Oh, sorry.
You have one job. One job.
One job.
So I kind of like, because this is going to have that black and white transfer on it, I just think the black would be really cute. I don't know. I'll surprise you guys. Either way, you guys kind of see the direction I'm going. All the papers I pulled, and I have a ton more than that. I pulled everything that has a little bit of mustard in it.
I kind of like you working on this side.
This is my good side.
Well, for me it is because I get the AC.
Oh.
It's all about me.
So, you guys shone through.
Oh, man.
I'm going to tell the story how you threw your back out.
Go ahead. How about it?
You remember what you were doing,
I don't
right?
remember.
Oh, I do. Okay.
You better tell it.
Good thing for everybody.
It's gonna get awkward.
Sean threw his back out the other night, so when he throws his back out, he can't even stand straight.
Laugh it up.
He looks like this right now. I'm not laughing. It's really not funny. It really actually stinks.
I have been told I look like the Evolution of Man poster. Yeah.
The before one. Not
Well, the start all the way, yeah, and then when I heal,
Yeah.
I'm back upright.
Not the after one where, he's like super muscular and.
Thanks for that.
So.
Not that one.
We have a kitten, and our kitten the other night, we're sitting watching TV, and he's trying to get underneath our refrigerator, and I was like, there's got to be something under there. Now you know how you threw your back
I knew how I threw my back out.
Wrong brush.
It's all about me.
So the kitten's trying to get underneath the refrigerator, and I'm I'm like, there's got to be something under there that he wants. You know, a bug or something. So we ignored it. He went away, went back to his thing, and then I see this huge, we're on 5 acres, huge spider. Like,
let's break it up. Do you have a shop?
it was this big. The spider was this
Cheryl
big.
wants to know if you. Now the camera's going to shake because I got a
spider
bowl full
was
of
this big.
jelly.
Okay?
Yeah.
No exaggeration.
But seriously, Cheryl wants to know if you do have a shop.
We're in my shop.
Yeah.
As far as a store, no. So that's a great question. I don't physically retail anything. I only sell through an affiliate link, which is the link you guys always see on my posts. That's how Dixie Belle rewards us, and we're compensated for coming on and doing these videos. So if you guys ever see a video that you like or that's helpful, if you click on the links that we give you, that's how we're compensated for doing these. So I don't have a shop where I physically sell anything. I only have an affiliate link through Dixie Belle.
All right, now back to the good stuff.
As an ambassador, I'm actually not allowed to retail the paint. So, and that's okay because I wouldn't want to. I'm not, I have all the respect in the world for those who own a shop. I'm not cut out for it. I'm not people-y enough.
People-y.
Yeah. I can't do the people. The people scare me. Okay, but back to my story. So the spider's this big.
Yeah.
This big, right?
Yep.
And it's crawling across the floor. So I picked up my flip-flop and I went to hit the spider and I missed.
So whose fault is this? Whose fault is it that my back is out? It's on camera.
First of all, now I'm rethinking.
Come on.
I'm rethinking my story and how the heck did I miss the spider this big with a flip-flop? Okay,
Was
so
it because you have a monocle?
the spider wasn't that big? It was smaller. It was like this big. Still a big spider. So it ran under the couch, and Sean runs in to save the day.
Wait, I didn't run. This body was not meant for running.
Jogged. It was like a fast walk.
It was like a trip trying to stop myself from falling down.
Yeah. So Sean comes in and he's going to try to get the spider. So he leans over to pick up the couch, and right away.
Which is not a small couch, by the way. But
no, it's what is it like a?
It's like a bus.
It's like
it's like 3,000 pounds.
Spider's this big, and we have a 3-part sectional. True story. No, it's a regular couch. It's a regular couch.
It's like a love seat.
But he goes to pick up the couch, and right away, like he's down for the count. It was all over. We didn't get the spider. Sean's back is out.
So the moral of the story, what I take away from it is to not let you try to get a spider because you missed.
This is what Sean and I do.
A 2-foot wide spider.
After the kids go to bed. It was a tiny spider.
Oh.
It's tiny like this,
Yeah.
like a baby.
Yeah.
Maybe a baby.
Interesting.
So Sean is held up in a chair behind me while I do all the
I'm not
work.
held up on anything.
It's a wheelchair.
I mean Superman. All right, so.
No.
So, okay, back to business. Do you sell your pieces?
I do sell my pieces. Actually, this one's going to be for sale. Do you love it? Do you want to buy it? Please. So I have too much inventory
Buy
right
it
now.
before I get stuck with it.
I've picked up way too many pieces lately. Because I had a lot go out, and then I picked up a whole bunch, and now I need a bunch more to go out. So how I work is I keep an unfinished inventory of pieces, and I will offer those for customization. So people will message me and say, hey Brandy, I really want you to, I want to own one of your pieces. I want you to do a dresser. It can be 60 inches long, and they'll send me 20 pictures from Pinterest or from my own work. Here's what I want it to look like, and we design it together. You know, they send me pictures of their room, and so that's a really fun process. So most of my pieces are custom work. When I don't have custom orders, I pull pieces out and I just paint. That's what this one is. This is just me. What do I picture on a piece? Not designed with a customer. So some of what you guys see has been designed with a customer, what they envisioned for it, and some of them are just like my mind working. No matter what, I always put my spin on it, even if they come to me. You know, if somebody sends me a piece and it's, you know, one of Kristana's pieces off from Bella Renovare, nothing's ever a copy. It will always have my own spin on it. And I always make sure that's known up front, that there, you know, there of course can be variations, and I'm going to make artistic decisions as I need to, but most of my pieces are sold before I make them. And then some, like this one, I get to just go with whatever my brain is feeling on that piece. So, does anybody want to buy this piece?
I don't.
Should we just put it up for auction? I don't know. I'm really digging this mustard color, so don't be surprised if this ends up in our house.
We have a mustard yellow.
I know, and I love it so much.
Colonel mustard. I love it too. Single piece.
You love them? The twins?
No.
The twins?
Trisha wants to be you and I when she grows up.
No,
The trick is to not grow up.
We were at Target last night and my son found this cup. My son's 11, by the way. And he found this cup and it says, adulting is hard. He says, that's why I'm not an adult, Mom, because adulting is hard. And I was like, oh, that's why you're not an adult.
It
Never
makes
mind
sense.
that you're 11.
What are you going to put on the top of this piece?
I'm going to stain the wood. So this wood, it's a really cool top. It's got a veneer on it, but it's a super thick veneer. That's another way I can tell this is old. Do you see how thick that veneer is? See the line on there? So I can tell that this is a, it's got a cheaper piece of wood with a nicer grade wood put on top of it. It's a really pretty top. It's got dings and dents in the wood. It's super old and I love the character of it. I'm gonna stain this top in probably like an almost natural color stain. So you can still see all that. Like I said, I see this piece being a kitchen island. I could totally see it being a kitchen island. Does anybody want to buy it? Did I mention that already?
Sheila put hashtag marriage goals, which just makes me want to clown around, but we're married, just not to each other. It's totally cool.
My God. I'm sorry to anybody who hates chatty videos. This one's especially chatty, huh? I'm going to come over here and work on this side. Sean came to me after work and he's like, I think I'm going to sleep on the couch tonight. I was like, well, this is where it begins, huh? Like, we start sleeping in separate beds. So, Sean and I are going out shopping this weekend for twin-size beds.
Or for spouses.
Yeah. After our Tinder dates, we're going to the mattress shop. We have a Tempur-Pedic mattress. In fact, like, please, you guys tell me your mattress suggestions. I just think it's not great.
Here, hold on. I'm just going to take you out of the picture because all I hear is like the adult in the Charlie Brown cartoon. Wah, 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 because we're going to focus on this little cutie.
Oh, really? Me?
Yeah.
Your little cutie?
Yeah. All right. And we're done. And we're back.
That's my shop dog right there. Hey, where's good girl? Hold on. This is where she'll be. Huh, where's good girl? She has yellow paint on her already.
Does she really?
She bites to play, but she doesn't actually like. I mean, she has the softest bite. She never bites down on us. So I'm running out of paint, which is probably my cue. I need to remix it. When I go to remix it, because it wasn't an exact mix, it doesn't matter. This is just my base coat. So next time I know I need to mix it a little bit more paint because I'm out. But I have to do a second coat anyways. So as long as it's similar, you'll never know that they were slightly different mixes. So I'm going to continue painting this. So the other thing I'll say is my inventory problem is why it's gotten so hard for me to work on a piece start to finish, because it means I've got to dedicate a spot in my workshop to that piece for like a month while we finish it together, and I don't have the space right now. So that's why you've been seeing me do different pieces every week too, is I just don't have the space to keep a piece for start to finish right now. I need to get rid of some stuff. So please, if you're looking for a piece, if you want to customize a piece, message me.
Even if you're on the East Coast, I'll drive it.
Yeah, no, I do.
No?
I do offer shipping. Nationwide shipping is expensive. It's nothing I claim to be an expert on by any means. But I do offer shipping. So there's that. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. And now I will be back. We're back Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Me and Sean are painting every week now. We'll be back. And I'm going to finish up this piece, so you guys will probably see the finishes on it on my page. Go follow my page at Brush by Brandy if you don't already. What?
Can I show that?
The jewelry box?
Yeah.
You guys see my
Sheila's
jewelry box?
asking.
Let me take these off.
This is the furniture size I like.
Yeah.
This makes it really easy for
But
storage.
I think this would be actually really cute to do a full-size piece to match a jewelry box like this. This is using all the knob transfers. These are the Redesign with Prima knob transfers. So they're only about this big.
Right above you.
And they're the perfect size to put on a jewelry box. So I cascaded them down the front. This is Dixie Belle Tea Rose on this one. So I cascaded the knob transfers down the front. There's a little bee right here, some gold stripes, transfers across the mirror. It's my jewelry box.
All right.
So that one's posted on my page as well. Although I did forget to post, I stenciled the drawer sides and I forgot to take pictures of it. That's the Redesign with Prima stick and style stencil. So anyway, yeah, how cute are those? So I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys next week, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Dixie Belle Paint page. My name is Brandy with Brush by Brandy. You guys have a good Thursday. Ginger
Say
says
bye, Ginger.
goodnight. Say goodnight. Bye, Ginger.
Bye, guys.